congratulations. Obviously getting the playoff spots, do or die for you after your last fight. And obviously you made it to the finals last year, came up short. What's the motivation going into the playoffs now?
Well, since I actually signed with PFL, not just for this year, I set a goal for a long-term goal. It's not just to win one season and retire. My goal is maybe go 3 seasons back-to-back, make that $1 million 3 times in a row if possible. I had my first chance, missed the shot. When I lost this first fight this season, it kind of sucked, just mentally it was it had been a while since I had lost 2 fights back-to-back, especially the way it happened to. Also, it was the first time that I've been finishing 2 fights back-to-back. Even though I don't agree with the finish, that doesn't come to place, that doesn't matter. It's the first time that I've been finished back-to-back. So it was kind of a little frustrating, but then I started to watch my fights, I got sat down with my coaches and I started to look at things. What has gone wrong, with my training, with my preparation, not just in the gym, but also during fight day. What have I been doing wrong? Or when I get in the cage. And I just realized that, first I feel like I was overdoing in the locker room. I would start to get warm-ups 1 hour before and go crazy, I was getting to fights in the locker room. And then by the time fight comes, I'm tired. Not an excuse, just it happens. It's just things that I had to keep more under control. It was not the reason why I lost those fights, but it's one of those things I could fix that to try to make things better. During the fights too, I am better. It's not about being brag about anything, but I'm better than any of these guys when it comes to ground game. I am, it's just a fact. When it comes to credentials, the way I perform on the ground, I am better than these guys. So why would I be fighting in a sloppy way? Why would I be spazzing out when I take the fight to the ground? So it was just I have to be more patient. And that's what I asked my corners too. Just let me make sure that I'm calm when I get top position. Because if I stay calm, I can just play 100% jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna be able to beat these guys. And in the previous fights, I was able to get my opponents down, but instead of actually working on guard pass, control, working the submission patiently, I was throwing punches with no power. So what I was really getting from that, nothing. I was just getting myself tired, losing control. Eventually the fight would end up on our feet again, and now I'm not bringing my A game anymore. So there's a lot of change that we were able to make for this fight, and hopefully we're gonna make things even better for the playoffs.
We just heard the number 5 stoppages in the PFL in under 2 minutes for you. Congratulations on that. Is the point format a motivator for that? Obviously, you need points to make it to the postseason.
For this season, it was a lot more important for me to get that first round or second round finish. That was my goal. I got to get here today and get in a first round and second round finish. I felt with 5 or 6 points, I would guarantee qualify to the playoffs. I was not thinking about 3 points, 4 points. I was thinking about 5 and 6, it's guaranteed. Plus, I didn't know how the fights were going to go anyways. But for the last season, I didn't have a lot of pressure because I was already walking to the second fight, qualifies to the playoffs. So it's you go to the second fight now, it's just got to perform again, win again. However you win, it's still I'm going to be in the playoffs. This season was a little bit tougher, there's a lot more pressure for sure. So hopefully that's not going to happen next year.
Obviously you had the rematch with King Cleveland, and then the finish almost ended the same result. You called him last year in a Kimura, and you almost did the same thing, but I saw that you had it, but you transitioned into the armbar. Walk us through that whole thing.
His defense was actually pretty good. It surprised me. I had him one of my favorite setups. If people see me training in competition, I always go for the far side control, going for the Kimura. If the guy locks his hands, sometimes I go for the armbar. But it wasn't even about locking his hands. He was able to push me over his shoulder, and when he pushed me over his shoulder, I lost the angle a little bit for the Kimura, so I had to go for the armbar. But his defense was pretty good. It was kind of impressive in the first second. I was oh man, he's gonna give me a tough fight. But once I had the armbar, I just felt dude, if it doesn't tap, I'm gonna break it. It's one of those things. I don't want to hurt my opponents. I don't. In a fight situation, you're gonna end up hurting somebody. We're gonna get hurt. But that's not my intention. But I gotta win. If it doesn't tap, if it takes too long to tap, I'll break it, so I can guarantee my win.
Last question for me. Obviously, you guys trained your teammates tonight, Lamar, Zeke, Carl. You guys all train together. How is that working together, training, helping each other train for your fight week and all that stuff?
It's funny because the way PFL was set up this year, having the light heavyweights and the heavyweights on the same card was awesome for us, as a team. All the light heavyweights and heavyweights train together. Ronnie, who couldn't fight tonight, Lamar, Zeke, Carl. You all literally do our own training. We have a team training with Extreme, where everybody does that training, but sometimes you get extra training, in the morning, just the big guys. So it's awesome. Like, it kind of sucks like to see my teammates losing, because like I feel like when you win, everybody wins. When you lose, everybody loses. So like, I'm happy for my win, but at the same time, like, I'm somehow upset because some of my teammates didn't win tonight.
Over here. I guess it's assumed that as you transition into the playoffs, your training would change a little bit along with that. That's just assumed, something that people would throw out there. But is there anything that actually does change in your training as you begin to look forward to the second half of this season?
Same thing that I said last year. I feel like it's not about change. I do have to change, of course. Now, the harder I train, the better. Like, I will come back like for the playoffs. But I'm also finding like another southpaw opponent, so like I'm going back to back with two southpaws, and so my preparation for playoffs, it's usually focused on the first fight. I mean, I'm not thinking about like potential second fight against Jordan Johnson or next in British. I'm not even thinking about that one yet. So I gotta go past Rispa first, or whatever his last name is. I forgot his last name. My bad. And then I have to go against him first. But having like a similar style as far as like stances, like to my last opponent, some things are gonna remain the same, but. Of course, I do have to improve like a lot of things in my game too. I'll give an example. Like, we planned on set up my shots in a way for this fight, and the way I got him down was exactly the way I planned. But before, maybe like 30 seconds earlier, I spazzed out and I did like a really sloppy move. Then I ended up like pretty much like rubbing my face against the canvas. So it was like really dumb, and things like that cannot happen. So there are things that can be fixed, and we're definitely gonna fix for the playoffs.
You talked about maybe sticking around for a couple of seasons. Were you a little disappointed that Sean didn't come back and defend the title? I mean, obviously it's good he went on a high note, but you don't get a chance to run it back.
That was his choice. Kind of like, he was playing that like since day one. Like, I don't know if he was, I'll be honest, not a lot of people were expecting to make all the way to the final, but he was already like, since first fight, saying that, that could be his last year. So I was not really upset. Of course, you want always going to get that loss. Like, I want to give it payback. That somehow upset me, but like, I don't even think about that one anymore. You're gonna, even if, let's say I fight him again, I beat him this time, you would be like, well, but you should have a loss against him. It doesn't matter. It's 1-1. It doesn't change. It's like, I don't even think about that one anymore.
And the playoffs being in Vegas this year, is it exciting to be back there? It's a fight mecca.
I'm back to Vegas tomorrow, so I live there. It's like, yeah, it's actually cool. Yeah, to have like, most likely I'm gonna have a ton of my students' friends, and family's gonna be there for sure. So it'll be fun to fight in Vegas. My last fight in Vegas was like 2016 maybe. It's been a while, and it's exciting, man. Like, I like to fight like with my people supporting me. So
you prefer fighting at home? I know some people say there's distractions. You got guys hitting you up for tickets and wanting to.
That's not my problem. It's PFL's problem. Tickets, talk to PFL. But no, like, it's easier. I don't like the whole like being in a hotel, like trying to figure out like what I'm gonna eat. Especially like lately, I've been trying to keep my weight down like below 220. I used to walk around 235, and it was just like too much to cut. Now I'm like walking around 220, 225 most. And for me to have the right diet, I have to stay home. I have to be home. Like, usually like the last few days, I've been like stuff at restaurants, so it's really tough to eat like the way I would like to. So fighting at home, like, of course I might sleep at a hotel just to avoid the whole like have the kids around and like when I'm like rest and things like that. But my diet, I'm gonna have like my wife cooking, and then I'm gonna be just eating home like most likely for the playoffs. So it's
keeping your weight down, is that based off the fact that the regular season fights are so close together?
That, and also like I just feel like I perform better. Like even though people would consider me like a big guy, like on 220 somehow big guy. My jiu-jitsu works a lot better when I'm like around 220, 225 because I'm more flexible, so it helps with my game. And I feel like it also helps with my cardio. Like, when I was walking around 235, I was literally cutting 30 pounds like the day before the weigh-ins, and I would just feel super drained because I would never be able to recover back to like 235. I would be like, okay, I cut from 235, fight day might be like 227 most. So it's like you're still dehydrated. So it was not a smart thing to do. So I now just decided to be like a little bit lighter. Plus, I eat healthier, so I feel like I'm a healthier person, like overall.
Anything else, guys? Vinny, at this point in your career, I guess last question would be: is there anything you feel you have to prove to yourself?
It's not about proving to myself. Of course, like it gets to this stage, like what's your goal? That will be a question. Well, I'm with PFL. My goal is get the belt, make the $1 million. Do I think I have like another 5-10 years of fighting? Most likely, I won't. I don't want to. To be honest, like. I do plan. My plan initially was like 3 years, right? Now last year, like maybe add another one there. But I don't plan on fighting until like I'm 40, 42. I'm not one of those guys. It's more it has nothing to do with like the desire of fighting. It's more because I don't want to start to take too much damage. I was just talking like in the locker room about that, how I've had like kind of the Ultimate Fighter fights. I've had like 33 fights, and I've had never take like that much damage I took in the last 2 fights. Just the last 2 fights. After like these years, like all these years in MMA, the last 2 fights are the ones that took the most damage. So it's like, I don't want to be that guy at 40 something, like taking like fights and take that much damage. I want to be able to like talk to my kids, understand everything they're saying like by the time I'm 40. And not be like, I'm not gonna give names, but yeah, you guys know those guys. So.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.